If you look back at the early 2010s race results, you'll see several future stars of the sport getting their careers started. Guys like Ryan Dungey, Eli Tomac, Ken Roczen, Ryan Villopoto, and many more would battle it out on the 250s for the championship, indoors and out. All of the riders I just listed have gone on to win races, championships, and break records. But in the early 2010s, Christoph Pourcel was making just as much noise as these other riders, but you don't hear his name today. Rather than go on to have a storied career, Pourcel's success didn't even earn him a legitimate chance in the 450 class in either Supercross or Motocross until very late in his career. The downfall of this extremely promising talent is coming up right around the corner. Before we dive into the eventual decline, let's look at why Pourcel was rated as such a promising talent. Born in Marseille, France in 1988, Pourcel turned pro at the age of 16. His pro debut was on home soil in the MX2 class at the French GP in 2004. He would stay in the MX2 class for 2005, running the full season, but found more success in his third full season when he actually beat future legend Antonio Cairoli in the 2006 MX2 World Championship. Cairoli hasn't done much since this, only winning 9 championships, 178 victories, in what has been a storied career for the Italian rider. But these wins and championship put Pourcel on the map. After his championship in 2006, he decided to move his racing career to America to pursue motocross, but also test the waters in Supercross. 2007 saw him race alongside Ryan Villopoto on Pro Circuit Kawasaki and finish second in his first ever Supercross race, as well as beating Villopoto straight up in round 2 to grab a share of the points lead heading into the third race of that season. Round 3 of the 2007 West Coast Championship took place at Angel Stadium in Anaheim. Due to an ankle injury, Pourcel pulled off the track and scored no points on the night. He would not return for the remainder of the season so he could be ready for European motocross. At this point, Pourcel was still unsure what direction his career would take. Upon his return to Europe, Pourcel suffered a horrendous accident in August of 2007 when racing at the Grand Prix of Ireland. The injury resulted in a broken back and a full year off from competition. As a result, he did not line up on the gate for the entire 2008 season. But Pourcel flipped the script in 2009. His worst finish in Supercross was 5th, as he won 6 races to grab his first Supercross championship in the 250 East class. He also won the season-ending 250 East-West shootout, beating Ryan Dungey, Trey Canard, and Jake Weimer. Following the season, Pourcel gave Ryan Dungey all he could handle in the 250 Motocross Championship, eventually losing the title after a mechanical failure in the second-to-last round of the series at Southwick. But Pourcel did not let this loss define him. 2010 saw him successfully defend his East Coast Supercross Championship, but the outdoor season saw him lose another close points battle to Trey Canard when it came down to a last race crash from Pourcel. But even with these results, Pourcel seemed like a lock to move up to the 450 class with Kawasaki, who he'd been with for many years at this point. But even with all of this success, Pourcel was not signed by Kawasaki. Instead, the team went with 2010 West Coast champion Jake Weimer. On paper, Weimer was far behind Pourcel, but the decision left the 2-time Supercross champion without a ride. Instead, the incredibly successful Pourcel was picked up by Moto Concepts Yamaha, but only ran 2 races for the team before parting ways. With no other opportunities left in America, Pourcel returned to Europe for 2 years, winning 2 GPs in the MX1 class. After the 2 European seasons in 2011 and 2012, Pourcel returned to America to chase his 250 outdoor title one more time. The return came again with Yamaha, but with only 1 win, the Frenchman came up short. At this point, the 250 ringer had not yet been given a 450 opportunity, despite winning 2 championships in Supercross and nearly 2 championships in motocross. But this would change in 2015. When Martin Davalos suffered an injury that sidelined him for the outdoor season, Pourcel was finally given a full 450 factory ride. But the success did not carry over into the 450 class, as Pourcel did not win any races and suffered a massive crash in 2016 that left him with a broken neck. Outside of a brief stint in the Canadian Motocross Series, this was the end of racing for Pourcel as he retired in 2017. But what you should know about Christoph Porcell was that he was never meant to be the subject of this video. But rather, while going back through old race results, his name popped up as someone that never had experience in the Premier class, although he was a 250 champion. But why was this? Well, you could look at the injuries he sustained, mainly the broken back in 2007 that caused him to miss significant time. a full year to be exact. You could also look at his lack of opportunity. Usually, the phrase winning takes care of everything does apply to motorsports, but Porcell was not given a chance on Kawasaki's 450 program, despite being an outstanding 250 rider and arguably being more equipped to handle the 450 ride than Jake Weimer was. Even if Supercross was not the route that he wanted to pursue, you'd think that they would consider giving him an outdoor ride. But regardless of what happened, Porcell should go down as a much better rider than he is given credit for. You look at some of the riders he was beating head-to-head. Cairoli in the MX2 class, Villopoto and Barcia on the 250s, even Ryan Dungey in a head-to-head race. This guy was good. Unfortunately, in this sport, one mistake can often spell trouble for an entire career. But for Porcell, his riding talent should be remembered for just how good he actually was. Thank you guys so much, and if you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much, and we will see y'all in the next video.